You are listening to Maximum Pew Pew, an actual play RPG podcast. Maximum Pew Pew follows continuous storylines and are meant to be enjoyed from the beginning. This episode follows the Dead Sons storyline and may contain spoilers for the Dead Sons Adventure Path published by Paizo Incorporated. The following content may contain mature themes and adult language. In this episode, the party boards the Empire of Bones. Dull red lights illuminate this massive chamber. A heavy crane arm dangles from tracks on the ceiling, and empty racks for small fighter ships line the fore and aft walls. A nearly invisible force field covers the gaping hole in the starboard end of the room, while two large doors exit to the port. In addition, there's a large window to the port looking into an enclosed room. The floor holds a dozen iris hatches, each 15 feet in diameter. Most of the hatches are closed, but one toward the fore end of the bay is open.
All right, I'm just curious enough.
So I guess you all actually enter in at the very back, so the far end of the table.
All right.
Not huge. That crane arm dangles from like the ceiling and looks like it's used to help reposition some of these fighters as they like come in.
Right.
So they can reposition it without having to kick the engines on or anything.
Gotcha.
Oh, cool.
I'm kind of curious. I'm going to...
Can I use the arm?
Head around.
Probably.
To... let's get a look at what's in the open door.
Do you want your compatriots to kind of hang out on the outside while you...
Yeah.
Okay. Because you've kind of got a disguise. So, yeah, I'll let Cyna, you're dressed as a
maintenance worker.
Maintenance worker. Got it. Yeah.
I never even remembered that item. Like that you just... I remember it after
the big Dr. Sept2 diversion that you all had at the university.
Yeah, like I remember it as soon as you said it, but like I would not like have just even thought about using it.
No, that's been part of my kit the whole time, and I've been leveling up my bluff and disguise this whole time just because it's that special forces thing.
You so Cyna, you're able to walk around here. There's not really anyone wandering about. It's sort of difficult to, well, you really can't hear anything either because there's no app.
Right.
And all their communications are being done via radio, or the broadcasts are basically like vibrating like bones and flesh and stuff to simulate the same thing. So
can you get in on the local?
Yeah, you can go in on like local and stuff, but like as far as atmospheric noises or anything.
I just meant here it gets to where we can hear the ship chatter.
Oh yeah, I can probably tune this in for that.
Yeah, so that could be translated through
around. I can roll a computer
or whatever, but you don't really hear anything. Just sort of generic, like damage at this wing, damage over here. Now launching fighters here. It's
every now and then we get the snip of the Serenite chant music.
Yeah, like
because every time a torpedo hits, it like echoes through the hall.
It introduces a small amount of atmosphere. And give me a perception check. Look around here. Right. Take in the sights.
Ooh, that's a 19 for a 40.
40. The one hatch that's sort of closest to you that's open, as you kind of come across there, you actually see one of the an undead there sort of preparing this fighter for launch. The fighter itself is it's about 5 foot wide, 10 foot long, and about 6 foot high. It's like a fighter jet. Like it's very like it's probably a very intimate fit. But looking at it, you're like, I'd like to have one of those, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're basically like coffins with engines strapped to them.
That's a different from the little. It's
so you know what I think about this fighter? This actually
doesn't have spaceship stats. It has vehicle stats.
Oh, so it's an atmospheric fighter.
So
or that scale. You know what? Also, it could do. It could fit in the hallway.
That's concerning.
But it appears that he might just be working on that and looking, and he kind of looks around a little bit and might catch your eye, and he'll open up communication, speaking Eoxian with you. It's like, what would he ask?
Have you checked the Samaflange?
Yeah, everything's fine with it. I'm just preparing for launch. Is everything okay? I wasn't expecting technician down here.
No, I'm just doing a routine check on the room, trying to get it ticked off before I go off to the next quadrant.
Okay. It's been all quiet here, just prepping to launch. All
right.
Okay. Like, he doesn't know what else to say. Just
no, I mean, there's no need to say anything, so we just nod and walk away.
Okay. Yeah, actually make me a bluff check.
All right.
Well, that was easy.
34.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's got...
It's one of those things, too. Like, even if he, like, failed the bluff, he looks at you and he's like, this dude's probably lying, but, like, I don't actually care.
He buys it hook, line, and sinker. Basically, he's preoccupied with trying to get this fighter ready.
Right.
To go on this sortie. But you're aware of each other's existence in this area, and he's comfortable enough with, I mean, his perception.
Yeah, so his the fighters that were launching out earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, 11. This bay can hold 12 of them.
Okay.
And 11 of them have either launched or are like these iris type doors.
Yeah, some officer is screaming, "Get that fighter in the air right now!" Probably.
It's like, I'm working on it. But that seems to be what he's working on. But if you give him a little bit of time, he probably will be able to take his fighter out.
Okay. Do we care to stop him or do anything? Personally, I couldn't care less.
No, let's pass and move on.
All right.
Let's let him go. I don't care. Let him go out there and get his ass
Let
kicked.
him do his thing? Okay. Probably within like the next 5 or 10 minutes, he'll...
Unless you guys want a uniform.
Yeah. Stab him in the neck and I'll take a uniform.
Well, that was a very abrupt about face.
Well, good ideas. You either capitalize on them or you let them pass you by.
Cyna, do you have mysticism?
No.
I have mysticism.
You're not.
No, but you got a gun to tear and share. She's going to tear him up and share his uniform with my ass.
I am culture.
Oh yeah, lots.
I'll give you that then. Because the class.
Well, some 29.
29. So this is sufficient, and I'll give it a little bit of a penalty here. This is sufficient to recognize this as a corpse folk marine. You know that it is a very similar skill level and rank as those that you fought at the...
They're tough enough
1.
that we couldn't just one-shot them unless all of us were jumping them.
Yeah, you know that he's got some...
and we'd pretty much tear up his uniform doing that, so let's skip it.
You're also on camera.
Yeah.
So...
right, we're on camera.
So that being said, final decision, you want to let him take off?
Yeah.
Okay. He gets in the fighter. The crane will actually come over, pick him up to rotate him about to take off, and will lift up like real high and sort of drop him so that he's like center, so you can like hit the thrusters and
kind of like hack that and totally mess that up, and he just hits the thrusters and flies like into the wall or something.
If you wanted to, but I would have to say you'd have to be inside for it. But I think Cyna's going to let this go on unmolested, just to let this go by.
Maintain our cover.
Yeah. So
those fighters would be really fun to play with.
So he takes off, and you are now left alone in this hangar bay. There are some terminals here that you could...
This looks like a control booth or here on the side of the room.
Yeah, so let me see what that is actually.
Or flight control.
That is so that is the flight control room. It looks like access to that, you have to go against that far wall, and there's doorways that get you to that. But there's that's that room. Can you give me a perception check?
Yeah. Oh, 22. That wasn't great.
Well, 22, it's nothing hidden. It's just trying to actually see what's up there. In this flight control room, it's not even elevated, so you're right at eye level with it. In this control room, 2 of the seats are occupied by more of those cybernetic zombies that are just kind of plugged in.
Okay.
They seem to be flight control or ground control for this matter in this particular
room. An
room.
Efficient supercomputer? I don't know.
Do we just keep going around?
Well, let's
But there is you could probably find a computer terminal in here somewhere. It's not listed on the map, but I imagine there's a computer terminal if you wanted to look around. Like that's.
We should probably, I know it's going to be ridiculous for all of them, but maybe kind of deal with the camera enough to have a place to secure and see what we can find out about the computer system.
I agree.
Very least get a layout.
Okay, so you just want to do a once over of the building or like this area?
Yeah, I'm actually...
Since you're disguised.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to walk over here. There's another door off the side.
The one near...
That's...
Okay. With all the seats?
Because basically on either side of the far wall of this room, there are, looks like large blast doors that I'm guessing are like the main hallways. And in between them is the control room, and then there's another door off to the left, kind of just at the entry to the hallway.
Okay.
And I'm curious about what that door is and what might be there.
Okay.
Because I don't see windows on this side of it.
So, yeah, none of these doors have windows, but if I recall correctly, there's some gear between all of you that allows you to kind of look through walls and stuff.
Yes, X-ray visor.
Okay, who has those?
Anybody that wants it.
I think Maia did, but...
Yes,
I think
Maia did last.
Okay. Since you all would have had time to coordinate before, would you... I'll say that if you had to bring those with you. Okay.
If they're getting ready to go out to scout, then here, take these.
Yeah, gotcha. So I'll basically be able to tell you what's inside of these as well as you go around. Mm-hmm. Now, you're looking at that long strip that's closest to Ion there, and we're going to start with that room. This is actually like a ready room. It is a long strip of chairs that are back to back, almost like a airport terminal. Mm-hmm. They're very narrow with small seats and are very close together. You imagine because undead don't shift around a bit and just kind of sit there quietly and wait.
Skinny zombie butts.
Right. It looks like what they're designed for is it's a ready room, and they can pack a bunch of them in here because they'll sit there all day and they won't fidget or, man spread or anything like that.
Okay. Is there anything else in here? Is there like gear or anything?
In that room? Mm-hmm. No.
All right. Are there cameras in there?
Every corner.
Okay.
It's going to be a common trend.
Right. No, I get it. It just annoys me.
If you work your way up to this big room that's closest to Zenka.
Right.
Are you hitting him with the goggles?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that look like as someone trying to be inconspicuous in this hallway and maybe on camera?
Well, I mean, I've got, I'm dressed as a technician, and I imagine there are some tools laying around somewhere that I can just pick up and with a data pad and just look like I'm going through maintenance checks.
Okay. So you look at this room, there's a double door with an electronic lock. If you take a peek in there, kind of like you're tying your shoelace or something, but really this room is brighter than most of the ship. You can kind of tell because the contrast is really blown out. It's a bit more white than usual. No, that is actually like an engine room. It's dead space. So it's the one closest to Zenka, this big room. There you go.
Oh, okay. So that's down the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going down the hall. So it's a bit brighter, and you can see that because it's blown out on the X-ray visor. With crisp white light flooding down from the entire ceiling, a series of 4 barred cells runs the length of the aft wall, each with a barred door with a keypad lock. A metal cabinet hangs on the fore wall, behind a small metal desk with a computer terminal and a metal chair built into it. Give me a perception check.
35.
35. Don't dump your papers. Don't do it. Okay. As you're looking around, it's a little bit difficult to look in there because you're looking through a wall with X-ray visors, and there's certainly some challenge to that. But You're a very perceptive individual, and you find that some of the cells may actually already be unlocked. And you also find that behind that table, this might actually, some of it's more difficult because the X-ray visor isn't giving you the resolution, but some of it's easier because they're X-ray visors.
Right.
There appear to be two creatures sort of hiding in wait for like an ambush.
To what?
What kind of creatures?
You would need mysticism.
Oh,
why are
okay.
they
Here, then I will hit the button
something?
and pipe the image over to our.
This room's so secure, you think it's the brig.
Right. No, I
those are
get
cells.
that. Yeah, I mean, they're cells. So I will pipe the image to our favorite bus driver, Technomancer, and see if Zenka knows what these guys are.
Mysticism with a penalty.
29.
29 will tell you.
Probably not much.
These are marooned ones, and I'll give you one piece of information about them.
What's their story?
What's their story? One name was Jack. When he was a small boy, his mother abandoned
There's a special psychological pain in watching your last chance of survival slip out of sight. Those who are left behind to die in the cold of space, whether on a deserted asteroid or a derelict ship, sometimes arise as a special type of undead called a marooned one. Whether they died of asphyxiation, dehydration, or starvation, unfortunate souls that arise as marooned ones have a desiccated look with taut skin stretched across their bones. Depending on how long it took them to die, they may have patched environment suits or other signs of their attempts to prolong their isolated lives as long as possible. Many show evidence of madness, both from the psychological pain of their abandonment and from the supernatural dread of the horrific transformation that awaits them just on the other side of death. They often have elaborate tattoos or ritual scarification, marks to count each day of their abandonment are common, or signs of dramatic self-harm, sometimes even including obvious signs of suicide from last-ditch efforts to end their loneliness or avoid the death eternities that await them. Regardless of their mortal forms or alterations thereto, all maroon ones are distinguishable from similar undead by their glowing ice-blue eyes and mouths that open unnaturally wide in cheek-splitting and jaw-cracking screams of fury. I'll give you one more piece of information.
That was a lot. I kind of wish you hadn't asked.
Did Zenka say this out loud like a soliloquy?
Maybe
reciting like a Pokédex.
It wouldn't be entirely out of character. Give me a moment. I need to look something up.
I'm going to give you this piece of ability.
Okay.
One of its other abilities is called a sabotage life support. A marooned one gains a bonus to engineering checks to disable a device that provides life support.
Let me guess, they can sunder your armor.
It said engineering checks, not like attacks or anything. That's what you know about marooned ones. And it looks like there are at least two in this room waiting to ambush someone coming through that door because they aren't in their cells.
Oh, they escaped.
Yeah.
This might be a good door to rig to open on like a delay or a remote.
I say we just extra lock this door.
It's already on a pretty intense electronic lock. What's your engineering modifier?
Me?
Yes.
15?
15, yeah.
It wouldn't be impossible, but it would be pretty tough for you.
Yeah.
You know what's in that room now. You want to look around a bit more?
Yes, let's.
Okay. Which room would you like to pick? I kind of shoehorned you into that room over there near Zenka, but which one would you like to look at?
This room looks important.
Okay. It might be.
This is across the hall.
Let's see what number it is. That is A7.
You sank my battleship.
I was looking to see what jamming.
What can X-ray visors see? Like, what does it see on the other side? What's providing the input?
It's like looking at an X-ray. I mean, the way it's described is the visor emits X-rays. And
it emits X-rays.
Yeah, very low level.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about, damaging our DNA.
That's what I need to know.
But like if you have dark vision or that sort of thing, it doesn't work while you're using it.
But X-rays are basically bouncing off things and telling you densities of stuff.
Correct. You can't see color. You can,
Right. Okay. But the light level won't matter because it's measuring density and bouncing.
Correct.
Okay, got it. You see what appear to be control panels, buttons, panels of computer screens, data cables. You see a suite of chairs all around this room, and you probably count 16 of those cybernetic zombies.
Holy shit.
So important point of order here about the X-ray visor.
Yes.
Just that looking up to see how that operated. The ability for it to see through things is stopped by metal.
It's stopped by whatever would stop.
Regular metal takes 2 inches. Star metal takes 1 inch.
Okay.
Well, I'm guessing the doors aren't that big.
Well, you'd also have to argue is how much of this ship is metal and how much of it is necromantic bone, necromantic sculpture.
That's fine. It's just something that I saw in there looking for how it worked, and I was like,
I appreciate that clarification.
That might be important.
Yeah, industrial plastic gets used a lot too.
It does.
I know that this is mentioned someplace in... Okay.
Yeah. I guess I should also ask are there signs on the doors and little indications like on Navy ships saying which direction you should go?
No, there's no like iconophore or whatever it's called.
I hate to be the one to bring that up.
No, it's fine. Cool. Honestly.
But I'm like,
the steel doors are going to be the best point to look through.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't say, it gives me a hardness and I could figure it out if I really wanted to, but I'm going to limit you by saying you're going to have to look through the door. Otherwise it's like bulkhead.
Right.
That is,
well, that's not unreasonable.
That is fair.
Yeah. The walls are standard Starship interior walls, hardness 30, hit points 1,440 per 10 by 10 foot section.
Yeah, that's going to be too thick.
Yeah. The others though, they seem reasonable. If it's reasonable enough for, Ion to potentially break through them in a shot or two, I'd say it's reasonable enough for you to
that's
peer
fair,
through them with
because also do remember this is a level 9 item that costs 15,000 credits.
Yeah. So
it's a thing.
That's what you are able.
You can give this to Ion so you can see what's on the other side of the doors you're breaching.
I don't need to know. Once the door doesn't exist, I know exactly what's on the opposite side of the door.
I don't need to know.
But it looks like whatever this is, it's very important for the operation of this area. I mean, it's like it's like supercomputer,
right?
With 16 cybernetic undead as the processor.
Do we want to maybe disable that?
Yeah.
Would that be a thing that we would?
I mean, that sounds important.
It'd be a good idea.
All right.
I think it would cripple.
So here's the other thing too about the cybernetic zombies. You know that there was one on the sepulcher that you were salvaging to make the Sunrise Maiden look like a ship. It didn't react to anything as long as it was plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't do anything. It was helpless.
Oh, so we could keep them helpless by keeping them plugged in.
You feel like it. I would say the mysticism between everyone here would know that by studying them.
Unplug them one at a time.
I say we just avoid. I mean, we're going to crash this thing into like an extra dimensional wormhole, or super weapon.
All right. Well, then let's.
We're going to crash this thing into a Death Star. Okay,
you want to check that out?
We make some chaos on this ship.
Head back towards
so we can start
making
it towards the bridge, or we start heading towards the bridge.
You check that out.
I just think losing a supercomputer would cripple the thing pretty hardcore.
It would.
This room is hard to read because there's so many irregular shapes. So many small irregular shapes. Like it looks very fuzzy. You have a profession soldier or anything similar?
Not really, no.
Engineering.
28.
You know that long haul vessels have to be able to create their own resources on occasion to be able to fix themselves if they're very a long way from home.
Right.
This is a gravel pit where they've actually done some mining or like try to mine for like ore or something, and they are breaking it down in this area to see if they can extract raw materials for, repairs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But the reason it looks so weird is, the reason it looks so weird is like the bottom's gravel, and it's just the X-rays are just like, it looks like static.
Right. Is there anything else in there?
The walls are scored and covered in small dents, and large sections are slightly discolored in what appear to be spray patterns, but they seem structurally sound. The area is thick with dust. To the left of the entrance is a metal cabinet with a large handle. Make me a perception.
All right. So I'm thinking this might be a more lightly monitored place that we could come first. All right. That's not the best. 25.
You see a particular heap of gravel almost imperceptibly bulge up a little and then bulge back down.
That smells like an elemental or something.
And then bulge back down as though something were like breathing idly underneath the gravel.
I see. All right. Well, I guess since I'm doing this, let's come over here and just hit the doors on the far end.
Gotcha.
And if you guys want to chime in, like where you think we should go or whatever, just say
the word. So that room that you pointed to, basically in the center there, the ceiling, walls, and floor of this room are covered in heavy armored plates that show scratches and signs of scoring. Thankfully, the doors are a little bit easier to see through. You almost the doors are barred, so you almost have to like peepholes. Many of the plates seem newer and appear to have been bolted directly over damaged plates without removing the old coverings. Twisted, wrecked pieces of junk are piled up in the corners and where the walls meet the floor. Several pipes run through the room near the ceiling with numerous valves along their lengths. Do you have it looks like this room is just like full of like junk.
Okay.
But I'll allow you a perception check.
If there's nothing in it, go in it.
Yeah, 27.
And look to see if there's any.
That's what we're finding now. You had 27?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Look at all these items.
Along the floor, you see something kind of like slurping along and like
slurping.
Yeah, it's a verb, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
to slurp. Sure. Look it up.
Yeah, just slurp. Slurping.
It's as valid as splorch.
Yeah, kind of like going towards some of the junk. You see like a lead pipe or something like that, and it just kind of like goes over it and settles.
Oh my god, it's a garbage elemental.
Didn't we already fight one of these?
If that's what it is, we don't know.
I mean, we did fight a garbage elemental. But
Cyna, we fought garbage elementals. I mean,
what if we lured
they're scavenger slimes? Yeah, because we made your crossbow. Yeah,
there's no arcana; it's mysticism, right?
Yeah.
What if we lured this?
No.
What
but
if we?
You can send feed.
But remember, because we used the goo to make your arrows that.
Yeah, Zenka, you can make me a
25.
25.
I rolled low.
I have a question. What if we lured the What if we lured the Splorg elemental into the control room with all the zombies and then closed the door?
Okay.
And it just started eating control panels, and then even if the zombies were to be released, they'd be locked in a room with a Splorg elemental and they're all mindless.
Okay. This works.
And I just feel like that would cause havoc.
I feel like everything here is just like we go to leave and just open all of the doors at the same time.
All right. So let's check this next room.
Okay.
Part of me would like to get into that control room to at least see if I can find where Third Eye is.
If we want to look at computers and find out where the bridge is and all that sort of thing, that's going to be our best bet.
Yeah.
This is going to be our short-term goal.
And also, you've seen terminals here and there, but you haven't accessed any yet. I just want to remind you that that's a thing that you could use to try to get more information.
Mm-hmm.
You look at that room.
I have just enough computers to boot Windows.
Okay. A metal podium with numerous controls on it stands at the center of the room. Padded vertical beds with numerous straps and restraints fill the room, most with numerous stains and small tears in their padding. Each bed sits beneath a bright spotlight from the ceiling, which illuminates the room brightly. 4 large vents are visible in the ceiling.
All right.
The drugs we got a while back, are these still viable?
Yeah.
We can still just eat them up? Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot they were in my inventory.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we were able to sell them.
Correct.
No, so they're there for you to use.
Also, I found some more grenades that I think might actually be untracked from the main list. Otherwise, I don't think I would have kept them in my own folder.
Okay.
If you would like these, Ion.
That's from back when we were using individual chips.
Yeah.
That room does have a individual kind of milling about in there.
Can I guess the function of this room? Is this, I mean...
It's beds with straps.
All right.
Oh.
And there's like vents in there, and this one guy just seems to be sort of milling about in there.
It's probably what passes for medicine, or maybe this is where they bring the prisoners to make more undead. All right. And we got one more room.
Yes.
Before
decisions need to be made.
I just keep thinking that I realize I'm super sneaky and I have a good disguise, but I just feel like decisions are going to be imposed upon us any minute now.
This room has only a single door in the aft wall. A small dais in the center of the room is raised up a few feet, and pillars line the walls. Each pillar supports a display, none of which you can see because of X-rays. There is an individual in here as well. They appear to be... It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like they may have some officer livery on.
All right.
And make me a perception or sense motive.
My perception is better, so we will call that a 37.
37. This person is sort of like looking at, the screens and stuff, and you see her very slowly turn her head at the door.
Maia, I think this is your person.
Yikes. Okay. Which one were you in? I was right
here.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see that. Look of a room of...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a wall of screens with a pedestal in the middle.
Yeah. That looks about to be the perfect place that this third eye would be.
So I'm going to make a note on my pad and I'm performing some sort of log.
Okay.
And then walk on down the hallway.
Okay. You have mapped out all the rooms and have an idea of what's in each of them. And I would be happy to reiterate any of these that you desire.
Here first.
Yeah. Let's close some loose ends.
And then, because this is like the one room that has like
the only computer hacker I was scared enough not to put my AI into.
So like the whatever passes for undead medical room here has a person in it, but it's probably just like a staff worker or something.
Right.
This person, they've got officer pips.
Okay.
In the in the Ozymandias wall of TV rooms. So I think we should head here first. And then we can play with the garbage elementals and the zombie computers.
I like it.
Okay.
All right.
So tell me how you make your approach.
I will say that
can you make me the sense motive? Can you go ahead and make me a sense motive?
Yeah.
Which
25.
room is this in?
The one on the far
The
corner.
25, your gut tells you that she reacted that way because maybe she saw someone at the door she knew somebody was there.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily because she heard it or that she's got windows.
Well, no.
But she had some type of feedback that
screens and it's like,
and she's wondering
all the video feeds
what are they doing at the front door?
Right. So, I'm going to try to act like something completely mundane and keep going down the hallway.
Okay.
Because if the ship is under combat, she's probably got more important things to putz it.
Okay. So,
but that means though that she's aware enough that we would need to be,
We have to have a plan for that room. Right. That's how aware.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
So getting the rest of you there is not something I can do easily. So
It's something Zenka could potentially do.
How long can you make us invisible, and what kind of slots does that waste?
11 minutes, it's second level slots. Although, since we took the long rest, I re-prepared what explosive blasts I have, and I went with 2 of the 3 being ones that only take up second level spell slots.
Okay.
So I can cast a couple more of those.
all right.
So that being said, if you have a way to do invisibility yourself,
Well, I mean, I'm okay.
you're good.
I don't.
I don't.
So that will be 3 of 6 second level spell slots. But I can do it.
Well, also, if this person is the one running keeping an eye on security, that'll make getting through the rest of the hallways a whole lot easier. So, also, if this is the person that you don't want to deal with, and we deal with them, we could drop your AI in Security Central,
and then just
and
be able to control a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if we were to like swing into that person's room, like you could walk in and
Your
your
AI
disguise.
becomes our operator, essentially.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you can walk in your disguise, and then
I'm
we can roll in
90% sure
invisible.
that my disguise will last all of about 2 seconds in front of this person.
Right, but we're invisible. The point is not to say, hey, we're trying to convince you. The point is to get a surprise round.
Okay.
Okay.
So
If this is who I'm looking for, alive or dead.
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
it's just a guess.
Yeah.
If it's not, then it's still an important place to go.
Important. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We have a plan.
Yeah.
all right. Tell me how you do it.
Zenka makes us all invisible.
That's
Is that
3.
true?
That's 3 spell slots down.
3 people go invisible and start to make their way down the hallway. Cyna, what are you doing as you are awaiting their arrival? Still milling about, or
I'm basically going to just, I assume that there are like access panels and like little terminals or whatever, is I'm just going to look like I'm doing some sort of inventory or damage control check or something.
Okay.
Just something stupidly routine. And I've served on a spaceship before, and I'm sure I can think of many terrible routine
Look
things
busy.
that I had to do as
How
a
many times
private.
have you heard that? Look
absolutely.
busy.
Yeah.
So you give me a disguise check.
What's that? Disguise, you say?
Yeah.
Why, that would be a 42.
Oh, she's not
You-
wearing a disguise. She is that.
If you don't watch, you might actually.
Yeah. You guys will come around the corner and try to roll initiative on me.
No, because we can
shit,
see
that-
through your visor.
Well, no, it's like, oh shit, that technician sees us. Oh, wait, no. Wait a minute.
No, it's fine.
That's. Whew.
No, you
These
do,
are fun skills to play with, and I don't get too often.
you do a good job of blending. Like you feel like, and you're not really seeing much other traffic down here too, which is kind of weird. On occasion, you see a cadre of security robots kind of patrol down here. You think it best to just kind of ignore
Right.
that going on. They just kind of walk on by. But you make yourself look busy, and you basically all can park yourself at that door. Now, this door does have an electronic lock, and considering 3 of you are invisible,
I'd like to be at the back directly.
Will hacking make me
directly in front of the
uninvisible?
door there.
No.
Just
you
combat.
have to go in first because you're the person that goes in looking like a maintenance person.
place her at the
If the
other
door
end of that
mysteriously opens
dais.
and then like 5 seconds later
Yeah.
you walk in, that's going
Perfect.
to look weird.
Perfect.
So like I will stand there, and you can be like in the square next to me, and I'll be like, I've been doing keypad maintenance.
Who wants to open the door? They can either do this with they can disable the lock with engineering, or they can spoof an authorized user with computers.
You should do,
Computers.
when you walk in,
Yeah, spoof an authorized user, because then it won't be like the door got hacked open. It was just authorized user over here.
Okay.
Opening the door.
When you walk in, you should be all like, hey, I don't know, like talk about looking at her cameras over here. You saw something weird when you were doing something maintenance related. And then we'll all just enter the room. And then on the count of 3, we'll all shoot her with something. Or stab her with magic. Or
34.
34.
Punch her right in the kisser.
For spoofing an authorized user.
34. You should roll a d4.
I should roll a d4. I might actually have like a way to make this better too.
Okay. I would love to hear about that.
It's
called a d4.
Is it close enough that I could assist? So here's what the ID should look like.
Tell me how that looks like and you not arouse suspicion.
Well, it's easy because, she's invisible and I'm just going to kind of reach over and, do the...
Sure. I'll give you, I'll give you +2. So you're good.
No, not the red button.
Reds cancel here. It's don't.
Most undead are colorblind. You have to use the icons.
Oh.
Yeah.
They
have algae in them because a lot of them have life sense.
Jesus. They would.
The door opens and you are immediately in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so is this person who looks like this.
Ooh, she looks like an anime villain.
Let me see.
She does look like an
it is a female.
Villain. Yeah, it's a she.
Do.
So it's like...
Is that a pale rider?
Close. Pale stranger.
Pale stranger?
It's got the long straight hair and the
I mean, I'm pale too.
They're basically
the evil
like...
Navy uniform and a long coat.
Like, in Pathfinder, they're basically like the betrayed, like, cowboy rough rider.
Yeah. Their sole purpose is to shoot Steve.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
they have one person that they are hunting down. And that's their thing.
This is Jonah Hex.
Could be me.
Only as a bad guy.
We'll find out in a moment.
Yeah. So you see this person and they look up and they've got dead eyes, but you can kind of tell by the facial expression that they're very annoyed at your presence right now.
I'm going to be like super, super obsequious as I let people through my square and say, I'm terribly sorry,
You don't want to go in there before I'm done.
But I was wondering, but I've been investigating a glitch in the security.
You say that.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Camera logs, and I was wondering if maybe your systems registered anything happening in the fighter bay. Yeah, this is just stalling for time, but
make me a bluff.
Yikes. 25.
25. Okay.
The problem with that, Trevor, is that during a surprise round, you only get one action.
I know.
Okay.
Right. But you blowing up the room prevents anyone else from having a meaningful action during the surprise round. Because if I can't move and shoot. So my basically what I was thinking is like we open the door, we all walk into the room, and then we get to shoot as a surprise round.
Okay. That's fine. Can you get to the corners?
This individual.
Let me move my ass over to the corner.
This individual. Wow, what did I do there?
It's a solid mini.
Stay in the corners, you'll be fine.
Individual looks at you and radios
Trust
over
me.
to you. This couldn't have been communicated via radio. And who gave you permission to be in here?
Zenka did! The room explodes! Gunshots everywhere!
This is where, I can just de-invisible like I did.
All right, is this
where we initiate?
I'm just like, we can all de-invisible at the same time, and I will gladly say I did.
Action movie one-liner.
who gave you permission to be here?
I did.
Title music for Dead Sons is provided by Overclocked Remix and created by CFX. Find more great game remixes at ocremix.com. Ambient music provided by Tabletop Audio. Original 10-minute ambiances and music for games and stories. Find out more at tabletopaudio.com.